Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check brought to you by Because Bitcoin. Hope everybody has had a great start to their Tuesday and this week. A very, very chaotic morning so far with prices. We'll get into that in a second. I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy, joined by Max Tucker, Jackus, Dr. Will's Outlook, and of course, the honorary Janet Yellen, who is, I guess, our guest for the day. A reminder that there is no second best daily YouTube live stream to discuss all things markets. We love when you guys smash the like button for these. So if you could be so kind and do the needful, we're going to do our best to dissect everything going on. And like I said, this very, very chaotic moment or morning. It's funny. I had some notes written out, kind of outlining the fact Bitcoin was dumping a little bit. Alts were dumping a little bit. I guess stocks are down 0.5%, but nothing too much. And then the biggest news of the day came out earlier this morning, which was the DOJ essentially announcing, we have an announcement at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And lo and behold, about 30 minutes after that, we now know that it is just an announcement of an announcement. Basically what we already learned yesterday, which was the fact that Binance will try to settle with the DOJ for $4 billion. And yeah, I mean, so far it's very much moving the market, right? I mean, look at some of these wicks that we're seeing across the board. Leverage traders blown out again, over eager, over emotional people shorting into the lows, caught out. It's just a very, very volatile and even illiquid in some markets, but a lot of volatility, a lot of opportunity. We're excited to talk about all of it with you guys, potential ramifications for BNB, for Binance, if this is where the buck stops. I mean, what can we say about this market, guys, right? I mean, it's very unpredictable, but it is also very predictable as well, too, in the sense that, we had an announcement of announcement. The last time this happened, I think it was for the Bislotto exchange, which ended up being a complete nothing burger. I don't really remember how the market responded back then, but so far, I mean, we've completely eaten up the dump that we had throughout the morning. I can only assume it was a result of insiders front running this DOJ release. And yeah, now here we are seeing that it looks like another nothing burger. So what are we thinking here, guys? I mean, we've had a lot of volatility on a lower time frame. Like I said, for leverage trader, it's definitely it's definitely a bit of a war zone out there, and very funny to me that they put that headline out and then basically said, all right, duke it out in position, and then any headlines throughout the rest of the day, you will be at the mercy of. So let's see, guys. What are we seeing in the markets right now? Stocks are, like I said, they're down about 0.5%, but crypto has been just a heaping ball of volatility here over the last 2 days.
I can tell you what Janet would say. What she would say is that I don't know how people haven't caught on yet, right? Reality is not reality. Basically, whatever you think the norm is, just think the opposite. And so many people keep fading the obvious. Like every single time, they're like, "Oh, this is where it drops. This is where it drops. This is where it drops." And every single time, what does the market do? Keeps going in the opposite direction. You know what we call that? In reality, we call that disbelief. And some people think it has something to do with the news. I think it drives with money.
Yeah, it's basically like I was saying in this slide that I've been through a few of these announcements, and when you've been around such a scam market as crypto, you know how it usually goes. And whenever you see announcement of an announcement, you look what the price is doing, and then usually it's the opposite. So if the price is pumping on an announcement, right? Like as we used to see with Tron, for example, back in the day or so, that's what you want to look to sell, especially when the announcement, like not on the announcement of an announcement, but the moment the actual announcement drops. And the vice versa is when it's going down. And they said like DOJ is to announce, like the announcement of an announcement sounds bearish, right? But in reality, what happens, and we've seen that a few times, and I tweeted that, first artificially create a pullback with an announcement of an announcement. Second, say it was some BS, like Bitslato exchange going down that nobody ever heard of, or in this case, that we actually get the Binance settlement in press conference, which was already announced yesterday, then run it back turbo and profit, right? And that's how they do it. That's what I did with this pullback. And that's why I say that 99% of the time, guys, you in crypto, you want to watch the price, what it's doing, and then the news will follow. There are a few exceptions like FTX that was unexpected to the market. But otherwise than that, this is just pure market manipulation. That's legit what it is.
And you know what else needs to be manipulated is the amount of likes on this video, guys. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to have some really great discussions today, guys. We got 44 people watching already. We have 15 likes. Guys, just a quick reminder, please consider hitting that thumbs up button for us. It does wonders for the channel. It does wonders for this show. And the reason that we are able to grow so quickly is because of your guys' consistent, continued, diligent support of what we are building here at Because Bitcoin. Just a reminder for those that are new, this is Market Check. It's our daily live YouTube show, Monday through Friday at 10:50 a.m. Eastern time with this full cast right here. So guys, if you are new, please consider subscribing to the channel as well. We love watching that subscriber count slowly tick up and all of our hard work paying off. But yeah, guys, please consider hitting that thumbs up button for us. We're only at 18, guys. Little bit slow today. We got to run that number up. Just takes one quick moment to make sure that you are signed into your YouTube account and then hit that thumbs up button for us. But about the market, guys, I will say this. Yeah, Goose, that's a good point. We'll get there, man. We'll get there. You guys always get there. It's so annoying that they do this the way that they do it. It doesn't really matter, but they go, we have an announcement. There's an announcement coming. I mean, come on now. Just make the damn announcement, or wait for the announcement. You don't need to cause havoc and, liquidate a bunch of people and just stir everything up. It's pretty ridiculous the way that they go about it, honestly. But
Max,
again,
I gotta add something. Guys,
Yeah.
when we get to 50 likes, we're gonna make an announcement, okay?
And then when we get to 75,
is it the Jackus docs? Are we going to show
big announcement?
We're going to show them the Jackus docs pictures. What we're going to do. Jackus showed his face today in our Discord, guys. It's I'll put it up at 50 likes. Okay.
At 50 likes, we make the announcement of the announcement.
Okay. All
yeah,
right.
I was gonna say there you go. It's 75 is the announcement of the announcements. 50 is the announcement.
Jackus is he's a
That's how it
very
works.
handsome guy. You guys are gonna see. He's very handsome. All right, yeah, guys, we'll run it up. But it's ridiculous, man. They do this announcement of an announcement BS, and there's no point in doing it. And maybe there is a point. I don't know what it is. Maybe they just want somebody needs to get filled, or they just like to mess around. They like to leak it just to get everybody nervous. But it's kind of bullshit, that greedy Jackus, man. Him and his likes.
Jackus, man.
He wants all the likes for himself, man. That Jackus.
Yep.
For us.
Oh, Jackus, that demanding, greedy Jackus with his likes. But yeah, it's. Look, I'm going to reiterate what we discussed yesterday, just briefly. There is nothing bearish about Binance settling with the DOJ. Nothing. Okay. There's nothing bearish about it. Okay. They don't want to see CZ in handcuffs on U.S. soil. Or maybe they do, but they recognize that it's completely unattainable. All right. So the real fear of all of this was, are we going to have another rinse and repeat of FTX? Is Binance going to be insolvent? Is Binance going to be gone for good? Binance is the largest exchange in the world by a mile, by a long shot. All right. So you have to look at that and say, if Binance went under, that would cripple and bring the crypto industry to its knees for a long time as we rebuild. And no doubt it would have. Okay. But this is just what we've seen time and time again with U.S. regulators. Go and Google how many of the big banks have paid billions of dollars in fines over the years for money laundering, terrorism financing, commodities manipulation, insider trading. All of the big banks have paid billions, way more than $4 billion in fines over the years. And they've all moved on after their little slap on the wrist to have prosperous, high growth companies that have thrived. Okay. So this is bullish. The US wants money. They're going to get it. And now they're going to leave Binance alone. So this is bullish news. This is good news.
I mean, we talked about this earlier, yesterday, Max, and what it is it's extortion, and it's extortion in a way like, hey, if you pay us, we'll let you continue your Ponzi, and that's really what it is. Because once this fine is paid, he's in the clear at that point. Like they can't go after him again, right? It's your payment for entry into the city, right? It's your protection payment in New York from the mafia and so on and so forth. If you want to operate there, you got to pay the city, and that's basically what they're doing. They're like, hey, you operated here, you made some money, now you owe us, and so they're going to extort Binance. They're going to get that money. Doesn't matter whether Binance was wrong or right. This is full on extortion by a government, and then they're going to let them continue doing whatever they were doing. Because if you feel somebody was doing something wrong, why are you finding them? Why are you not arresting them? Why are you finding them? Right? And
Because
nobody's
US is
asked that
broke
question.
and they need money.
No.
we need
Zelensky Zelensky needs more money, guys. This
Yeah,
is gonna go right to
Zelensky
Zelensky.
needs more money, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You're gonna
guys
see
get what
that
I'm
US
saying with
the
that,
US
right?
Congress votes to pay Zelensky another $4 billion. We're gonna be like, oh, where'd that come from?
Binance.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, guys. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. I want Jackus to do some cooking today. All right.
Mhm.
The chef has a wide and vast assortment of delicacies that he wants to prepare for you guys today. All right. Now, he wants 50 likes, but I think I can push him to do it for like 35 or 40 likes, guys. Right now we got 52 people watching. We have 29 likes on the stream. Guys, before he gets into his cooking, because I don't want to interrupt him when he's mid-cook. When the chef is in there cooking up, I don't want to interrupt him. So guys, I'm going to badger you right now. If you could please just take one quick moment. We got to run these likes up. We got 50 people watching. There's no reason we can't at least get to 40. All right. 80% of the people in here should like this stream. So guys, please, if you have not yet, just take one quick moment and then I'll stop bothering you about it. Hit that like button. It's the reason we're able to grow at the pace that we are. It's the reason that the show is catching on the way that it is because you guys that love the show, you show up, you deal with my badgering, and you hit that thumbs up button for us. And it really makes a big difference. That's why I'm so annoying about it, is because it actually makes a huge difference. If it didn't matter, I wouldn't bother. But unfortunately, the robot at YouTube headquarters, like it really responds well to likes while we're live. So thank you guys. We're now 3 likes away from 40. You guys are the best. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. Yes, and we just need 3 more likes, and then I will leave you guys alone for a while here. Boom. 41 likes. Jackus, it is time to cook, brother. I'll make sure we get to 50, but it is Chef Jackus time, okay? The people are hungry. You cannot leave them famished. So here, your screen is up. I'm going to leave Janet Yellen in the upper corner for you.
Man, I love that Goose said that greedy jackies, LOL. And look at the guys. They are greedy for the alpha as well, man. Like
Yeah.
you said, Chef Jackies is gonna cook. Pump those likes, and the guys were like raping the like button, right? They were like come on, get in there. I loved it. All right, guys. I want to start with BNB. Actually, I have no idea what to start, but I had BNB on it, so let's go with BNB because that's the hot topic, right? We had yesterday. We had the announcement of Ford. Let me find it quickly. Okay, so let me find it. I don't want to misinterpret it. Right. So this was the announcement. U.S. government seeks over $4 billion from Binance to end criminal case. We'll just discuss that and why that's pretty much very bullish. totally agree with that. We had many discussions on that on our private call, and yeah, once again, they are basically saying you can continue to do what you want, and in my opinion, Binance will take this number even lower in the negotiations. They will pay it, because you simply do not get away without paying in any of these cases. There's always some mid-ground settlement, and US is just using their power to extract something because they need more money into their treasury because it's not looking good, bruh, for US right now. So Binance, will probably pay for this with the BNB short liquidations that will unfold very shortly. I know lots of people that have been, they have been adding to shorts on this way down. So the big fat actually started here, and that's why I want to talk about it. The big fat started sort of right here. Sorry, right after. This was the price action before the drop, and the fat starts on this way down. Then you get lots of fat, lots of price action sideways. You get the breakdown, right? We need to understand the whole narrative behind all these moves to get to the present point and see what's going on. So this is the news, and this is the short buildup. Everyone is looking to short at these prices. We then break down. All these shorts are in profit, and I say back here, I say we either have, and I couldn't know, but I was prepared for these, right? And that's what's important. I was saying we either deviate below these two lows, we take the stops here, and we don't let the big shorts take profit below here, or we actually get that vast big sell-off and then go down here and deviate below. When we were trading down here, I was mentioning the infamous 220 level, and I kept on saying, guys, do not get bullish until 220 is reclaimed. Do not get bearish until 200 is lost. And many times bears got really euphoric at the breakdown, and I got euphoric, sort of not euphoric, but like I was expecting we probably gonna see a reclaim here already. We went to range low, then we have finally reclaimed. When we did so, I was saying this should lead to further upside. We take out, and I actually made this chart I had on. We take out these equal highs, and then we go to fill this inefficiency. We just did that. We react that nicely. But now what happens, right? We needed to create this story to understand what's going on in the market. And now there is this big narrative. This whole range is a big range. This is the big range reclaim. And right here, we are sort of like week of SOS. It's a meme, but we are sort of at that point, right? We are like above this level trading. Look at that. We are holding here on this fake drop. We are holding this level. And I do think what happens going forward is that now people are starting to realize that there is going to be no Binance sell-off. There is no Binance
collapse.
takedown, no collapse. As Will is saying, no collapse. And we will see the shorts start closing their positions, and the market is starting to absorb this. And what I think happens forward is that we get a quick repricing all the way above this level. Why this level is important? That's right the level when all that shit started, right? Right after we lost it. That's also the level, and I'm gonna show now on screen, where ETH and BTC and others were reclaiming this one. It's legit this level, right? It happened in a different time. If you look at it, it happened at a different time, but the structure remains the same. Look at that. You get the pump, then you get some bullshit price move, then you get the consolidation, then you get the sell-off. So structure-wise, this level is the same. And I think and we have seen the reclaim from Ether.
Hey, real
We
quick,
have
Jack. Not to interrupt, but could you throw numbers out when you talk levels?
good point. So for BNB, the big level is 314 reclaim. Okay, 315. Let's call it 315. So we get around 1. So that's a big reclaim. For Ether, that reclaim was 1850. And I kept mentioning that level, 1850, 1850. We need to reclaim that. When that happens, we may get some reaccumulation, but that we had higher. And that we are at the reaccumulation. Many people are not seeing that, not caring. They will get wrecked. So ETH has reclaimed this level. BTC has reclaimed this level as well. That was the 29,500 for BTC, or like 30K, we could call it, right? That was this level. The prices went up there, rejected, went up there again, absorbed all the sellers, then really pumped through, right? What I think is happening here on BNB is the same thing. We're gonna start pressing upon this level. That's where all the shorts have their invalidation. We break through and then continue higher, and this trend reclaims. I think that's what's currently being played out in the chart. I could be wrong on this one. Maybe this is just a range deviation and we drop back below. And if that's the case, then I think we need to lose this level. Until then, this is this is unfolding, and I think it is. I'm playing the probabilities, but we always need to have invalidation in mind. So generally, if we would start, like, I wouldn't care about like a daily wick, right? Like even if it happens next day, something like this, I wouldn't care about that. What would need to happen is when I say loss of level, like we would have to go down there. That's certainly small possibility, small chance. Obviously, I do not know with BNB, but like until that happens, we continue higher. Just like we expected when we reclaim the range that we continue higher, and we have. I was personally, in our BB Discord and so on, I was making a buy right here. And we've seen that, and I was talking like we can go to 248 to retest the origin of the move. That's specifically what I said. They did that with the scam wick and held this area, and I think we continue higher here. So that's regarding all that Binance moves.
So Jackus, what you're telling me is that the news doesn't actually run price. That price runs before the news in both directions. And so if you're waiting for the news, you could optimally be buying tops or bottoms if it's in those scenarios, but more than likely tops, because what you're doing is you're buying the fear, or you're selling the fear, right? You're selling the bottoms and buying the tops. And this is I was trying to be a little bit facetious there, but obviously messed that whole thing up. This is indicative of these markets. Is they tend to play you into the news and make you think that news is what is running price. Price runs price at the end of the day, right? And so if you're watching structure, this is why it's always important to understand charts and understand levels. And even if you weren't a chartist, Jackass, could you draw a line at the high there, or you have one there, right? Could you identify that high price of that swing that you have there? What's the high price there?
38K sort of.
Okay. What's the middle range of that swing? Roughly.
36,400.
All right, 36,400. What's the bottom swing of that range?
3480.
Okay, so now I had him level those out and say those specifically because if you can just know those areas alone, just those three areas, right? It's not even a point of like knowing the chart. It's just knowing your top, your bottom, and your middle range. You play what side of the range you're on. What side of the range are we on there? Jack is from the middle.
The upper boundary. the upper
So
part.
so if we're in the upper part and we've already visited the upper part once, what would be the expectation after we fell back below the middle and then came back and recaptured the upper part again?
Can you repeat it? Sorry.
So do you see how we had that first spike into the upper range and then it fell back
Yeah.
under the mid range?
Yeah.
To your left, right there. And it came up, broke out, hit the top range, retested, came back, fell below, faked people out, pulled back out, ripped back through the mid range, came back up and retapped and sat on mid range, and then now we're kind of sitting here. So this to me is it's like a drive pattern, right? You're grabbing liquidity in both directions of the entire range there, the upper range, only to drive higher, essentially. And
Yeah.
that's what I would see here as a whole. And when you follow news, you get caught up in these small inter-secular moves like what just happened today, right? Between yesterday and today. The big sell-off that basically is now ripping in people's faces. This is why it's hard to follow news essentially versus just following the charts or following the range of price, right? And the longer the range, the longer the consolidation, the more validity it has. But I just wanted to point that portion out there specifically and just say, to the audience, I know a lot of people want to, come up with narratives for reasons for this or that. My reasoning for Binance and CZ, and this is what I brought up before, and I told Max this. He's like, you don't want to be the one to eat that. He's like, if you're wrong, you're gonna have to live with that. And I was like, yeah, I will. I
I
was like,
said you
but
don't
like,
want to be the exchange defender. All right.
well,
You
yeah,
don't want to
well,
be
yeah,
the
yeah.
This is
Well,
true.
that
because
is that
why?
is
Because no one knows
that
for
is
sure. It's just like it's a ridiculous claim to make because you don't actually know. Not you, but like no one knows what's underneath the hood
no,
of
no.
any
I
exchange, you know?
I
It's best to just
agree.
kind of like let it settle, see what happens.
I agree with that thesis, Max. But the thesis that I came from, I just want to explain that is that the time, right? How long has something existed? Maybe something's not profitable for us as a company or whatnot, right? But has the company been around for a while? And if they've been around for a while, if they've been established for a while, granted, is a long time, but in crypto it is. And if you survived a bear market an entire cycle, I would imagine you've had enough liquidity between two bull markets to be able to sustain any type of downturn that could come to your business. If that makes sense, right? And
Yeah.
I thought CZ was one of the better ones at that game, and the reason I think that he is because of his grasp on Asian markets and the size, basically the size of Binance in comparison to every other crypto exchange when it comes to CEXs. So he's getting the biggest portion of revenue, I would say, out of all trades in this market when it comes to CEXs. That was more of my thought process behind Binance specifically. And again, it didn't come down to me like wanting to defend them, but it just I would almost say common sense type stuff. It's kind of like saying Intel or one of these older companies that do okay. They don't really have a lot of growth anymore, but they do okay. Would go out of business. I couldn't see it happening.
No, and I mean you're correct. And I agree with you. Like it was far more unlikely than it was likely. It just it didn't add up. It was fun to think about like what that would look like, I guess, and to toy with it. I think it was a good exercise, but as time progressed, I mean, it just seemed to not really go anywhere. And there was so much. It was just a FUD campaign. It felt like, it just felt like
Yeah.
they were throwing everything they possibly could at it, just seeing what would stick, and not a whole lot was sticking.
Well, I
It
think
was the
we have to
shotgun
be
effect.
careful saying that just because something's been around means that it can't go under.
I didn't say can.
Yeah.
I
Tucker's
didn't
good.
say can. I
Good
said the
point too.
likeliness goes down, right? The likeliness becomes less likely.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
All good points, I would say. Yeah, just as Tucker is saying, just because Binance has been around for a long time doesn't mean it's gonna go. I don't know exactly what's that rule. Someone created a principle. I don't know how's it called, but it goes something like this. it's used mainly for hard money, right? For gold. So, however, something has been here. There are good chances that it's gonna be here for at least the same time as it was here until now. So, like, if you had
Exactly.
gold for, I don't know, 5,000 years being here, there's a good chance that gold is going to be here for that amount of time as well. Like, I don't know how exactly that law is being called, but like the longer, what I'm trying to say is the longer, for example, Binance is going to be here or was here until now, right? Then we can expect about the same time. So if they going to keep going, that's gonna give them more credibility, obviously, right? I mean, it's not a
Evan,
some
what are
crazy.
you talking about, bro? Like, I'm just reading these comments. Evan, what's going on in the chat, man? Are you okay over there? Oh my gosh. Evan, take it easy, man. It ain't easy being cheesy. Okay.
Evan, what?
Evan has gone on a rant with this comment.
I don't know what he's talking about. I know who Kush copy. Evan, what's going on, man?
David Hunter.
Yeah.
Wait, are you saying that Kush copies us, or I don't
I
know.
don't know what he's saying. I don't know.
He's good, bro. He's good. He's good.
He's
I'm
good. Goose. Elon left keyboard.
Reduce leverage.
That's a really good rule of thumb for everybody, by the way.
Maybe Evan has been on a Red Bull sprint. No.
Not me, Max. Like I am actively right now looking for long leverage exposure, man. Like I am actively looking for that.
Yeah, me too. I'm not going to share what I just did. I put it in my active positions channel. I am looking for a nice long play here, especially if we can rally out of this news. I'm not going crazy quite yet, but I'll definitely nibble. You know, I'll attempt a nibble here for sure. You know, just think about some of the names that have been running, right? Like Soul, TIA, Rune. You know, just to name a few.
L1s.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at some of these that just had some very, very aggressive sell-offs, and you could argue that, you know, that news that came out this morning, the initial news that was it was like there's going to be an announcement later today, caused a major drop, you know, in a lot of these altcoins, and then they might not go back and revisit those lows that were set. You know, it can be a little bit bumpy, but that was pretty scammy.
Yeah, I remember in this morning's call, something that I brought up, and I think it will stick. I really think it will stick. Is 33K is the new 22K, right? And
Good point.
everybody's
Yeah.
shooting for it. Everybody's shooting for it, and it just may not come, man. Like
But Will, you've got orders sitting there, man.
I know, but I'm telling you, this may not come. I'm starting to believe that 33K is the new 22K. That's what I'm starting to believe.
Wow.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to address as well. I don't know what chart it is on, but well, I wanted to first. I cannot find the comment because there are so many comments now. But someone stated something about like BNB being a made-up money, and like yeah, this is something that we discussed during our call, where I was saying that like the value. It's not that BNB doesn't have value, guys. It's not true. But it's tied. It's tied to Binance success or failure. It's like, you know, V-Bucks in Fortnite have no value, but they do have value as long as people keep playing the game, right? But it's made up money as well, basically. In that case, BNB probably has more value. But like, as long as we expect Binance to stay around and people use the exchange, then BNB actually does offer very nice discounts for people to hold it. They also do the, you know, quarterly burns and everything. And I'm not trying to like shill BNB. I'm just saying, as someone who uses Binance, BNB is good to own on their exchange. So if we are expecting the industry to grow and Binance possibly to overcome all this probably paid fog and stay here and probably stay the strongest exchange anyway, something like Tether that been through a lot of fought and then became the strongest stablecoin and one of the most profitable companies in the world. Then if we can claim, and we do not know, right? But it's a possibility that it happens that Binance is the strongest one. Then we expect that the user growth will grow. All that fat will be gone, and BNB price will therefore go up, right? It's that simple. It's like with the V-Bucks. You use the V-Bucks in Fortnite to buy stuff, but essentially V-Bucks have no value. And so if we do expect that user base to grow, people will be using BNB around the exchange for many products. So yeah, just want to say that for the BNB,
Yeah. So Jaggers, what are you expecting from here, man? What do you think? Is that a deviation from this morning, or do we visit those lows again?
Let's get to price. Maybe something that Will was also talking about is like these ranges, right? So you can think of, we had if I make it clean like this, we had this range, right? We broke out of, now we retested that range and we are in that upper range basically. So I wouldn't get too excited about any of these moves ups or downs. That's why I say, guys, do not care that much about lower time frames. If you go on the daily, nothing happened today. Really, nothing happened today. All we care about is that we had a higher time frame. Where is that? Close these. Okay. Apologies, too many. Okay, this one's good. All we care about is that we had the higher time frame range reclaim, and anything below is deviation. And there is no higher time frame resistance around here, and we expect continuation. So if we stay within that state of mind, then we do not really care about these, and we expect further continuation as we keep making higher highs and higher lows, and context is pretty clean. I'm not sure if it was Will or who was it, but some of you guys basically said that there is a lot that I think it was Will who said that 33K is the new 22K, and I do agree with that. There's so many people that basically do something like this, and they are saying we're gonna sweep higher and then retest, right? And I mean, I understand the logic behind, but the amount of people I've seen doing this is crazy. There's so many people expecting that. And for that very reason, I think it doesn't happen. And there is also good reasoning from the sideliner perspective, is that so many people are waiting for that retest, right? After the breakout, everyone wanted to buy the retest and nobody wants to buy this, like out of the sideliners, right? If I'm not, and all the leverage guys are getting wrecked in this range. Like, look at that. Pumps, dumps, scam news, announcement, whatever it is. So I'm expecting trend continuation. BTC looks good. Ether looks good for trend continuation. Not really caring about these price movements, right? Essentially, on this move, once again, if you're just gonna stick to the price, we were discussing this bounce live on the market check on Friday. We got exactly that. Now we got a exact H1 FVG fill. We got H4 demand retest. And I do not know, like, for sure what can happen is that they take it lower one more time and then do something like that. It's totally possible, and I do not know that. H4 to me is basically lower time frame still. What I what's my main focus is still this. We had a weekly reclaim of this important level. We came back to retest it on this weekly candle. Apologies for all these paintings. We came to retest it, and we are staying above. As long as we are staying above and not closing the weekly below here, then this is a reaccumulation before higher, and that's all I care about. ETH is yet to catch up. If we plainly look at, if we cleanly look at, by the way, wouldn't it be fun if this PS3 happens?
That'd be crazy.
Nobody's talking about this.
Crazy. Yeah, I'd love for that to happen.
Actually, let me.
Yeah, but to add to it, Jack, it's like, man, it's actually insane. Like, so many people are just expecting the pullback. It just, man, it kills me to say it, because 33K was a target I was ideally looking for. But when you start to see the posts come over and over and over again from people, it's like, well, that's screwed now, because everybody's starting to believe it's going to be real. And when everybody believes it's going to be real is when it tends to not play. And
Yeah.
so it's kind of one of those where it's difficult, because a lot of people be like, well, everybody on my timeline's bullish. Most of those people, like, they don't even know what bullish is. And then same thing with bearish. Most people on my timeline's bearish. No, I don't look at bullish or bearish. I look at what people are looking at for price. And if everybody's consensus is the same price, then that price is wrong in most cases, right? And that's even me. Like I said, like, I was a 33K-er looking for 33K. And then we're up here, we're well above 35. And that's why I said this morning when we talked about it, I'm like, you're gonna see 35 before you ever see 33. I'm like, so if you're targeting lows, that should be the lowest you're targeting at the moment. And then, if you're targeting highs, man, if they get back above 37.5, I can see us easily ripping into 42. Like, just so many people are not, they're not positioned. They're not positioned for it at all. And I'll tell you this, I've been positioning. I've been getting wrecked on these swings. Not necessarily on the leverage side, because I've been taking more spot, but I've been buying beta of beta of beta of beta, because I'm trying to really capture this price, because I do agree with the ETH is lagging. I 100% agree with that now. I'm looking at it, I'm seeing it, I'm looking at it across the board. I think ETH is lagging. When ETH rips, take your profits, because guess what? The whole freaking market's going to come down in a big way. You're going to get a big retrace before the actual move, if ETH catches up. If Bitcoin continues to rip and rip and rip and rip and rip, and ETH doesn't catch up, guess what? We're probably in a secular bull market that's getting ready to explode. And ETH is just a compression move of the move that Bitcoin has made, if that happens.
I'm literally crying at the comment section right now. Evan, come on the show, please. I want to see your charts, brother.
We welcome you, Evan.
I'll send you the link right now.
Evan, this is your invitation again, man.
Yeah.
We've invited you once before. We will send you an invite link. We know your Twitter. We will send it right now to your DM. Come on the show. Show us some charts, man. You have a bone to pick. You have a case to make. This is your chance, man.
I'm just gonna DM him right now, bro. I'm just gonna DM him.
This is it, Evan.
Yeah, I'll continue here, guys. So, what also some of what Will said, I want to expand on. He said that people will look at price and say everyone's bullish, so I'm bearish. But we need to understand where we are in the cycle, or the general move. And each move consists of this, right? On each time frame, you get this sort of. And this is when everyone's bearish and everyone's bullish, right? We get that when we zoom out or so, but this happens on every time frame. And this is like where, the perma bulls will keep on screaming, I told you we are bullish. We are going to the moon. Here they are telling you buying the dip. Here they are telling you it's gonna go up, like they are forever up. Then I told you it's gonna go up. We are going to the moon, buy the dip, and it goes on. Perma bears are the same, just like vice versa. They are like, this is a scam pump by the cartel. It's a bubble. Here, it's a full bubble. We are going down. See, I told you we are going down. Everything to zero. This is a scam pump by the cartel. It's a bubble. See, I told you we are going down, and so on. And then you get the few reasonable of us who like try to tell you, hey, we are nearing, like we are at the top, or like we are going to be nearing the top. Hey, this is not the time yet, and here we are getting to the bottoming range. I'll get to that on these charts, on this, but this is the general structure of every move. And in these between times, in the middle, that's like when people will say, just when we flipped the structure and we got out of the bottom, everyone right here will scream, hey, everyone's bullish, so I'm bearish, we are going down. And they will say the same here. Everyone's bearish, so I'm bullish. And what you need to understand that these trends can continue for a little longer. And I think right now we are in the middle of this big move. And that's the same what happened on, during this move down. When we were down here, that's when we were about to break down lower, right? When we were around here, that's when we were break down lower. That was in the middle. And then right here, everyone was also saying, hey, everyone's bearish, so we must go up. But reality was that we were still downtrending. And until then, until everything was super oversold, and then, we are here, we are telling you, hey, we are bottom ranging here. People are like, no, we are going to 0, 3 digits, 2 digits, whatever. And and now it's the same. Now we are here. Right? In the middle of this box. And everyone's telling you, hey, everyone's bullish, we are going down. No. The trend will continue now. And then you get to this final stage. I do not know though if like this trend, like if for example, we get something like this here, that's possible too. I think we got that sort of maybe here, and now we are getting the big, that's thing to speculate. Once again, I cannot exactly tell this. I know we have reclaimed the range, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, anyways, moving to classical East-Beast comparison, right? So these two move very relatively the same with few divergencies. For example, with East here, we've seen that East was way higher. Here, BTC was somewhat lower. For example, on this move down, we've seen the move down quickly, right? Whereas, so like there are differences, but more or less these two follow each other, right? Here, East did not make a new low, while BTC has during the FTX drop, right? East was the stronger coin here. BTC wasn't. Now, BTC is stronger coin, but it will not be for that long time. And just simply looking at the price chart, right? Like nobody, even if you are the biggest East BTC bear, biggest Bitcoin maxi, I'm just stating facts, okay? Here, right now, Bitcoin is trading right here at this March 2022 level. For Ether to be up there is basically 2,500. That's why I keep saying ETH is in a big discount, and it's pretty clean that it's gonna.
Here's the thing. Look, right now, Jack, is not to cut you off, but ETH right now is 25K Bitcoin. That's what it is. It's 25K Bitcoin before Bitcoin broke out to above 30. And a lot of people are just they're not willing to accept. Okay, we can even call it 30K Bitcoin, but it hasn't broken out yet. So the opportunity before the breakout is your buying opportunity, and a lot of people fade that because they expect more downside. And the reality is ETH is more likely to break out than it is to break down in the current structure. And so if that's the case, you are at the maximum discount range. And I say range because somebody like, oh, we don't know the price. You know how people are. They like to get really sensitive about things. But price is irrelevant to range, right? Range is just like your top and your low of your current range. And you're just kind of like, okay, where can price go from here? Well, if it breaks out, you're not getting that price again. it's not coming back to that price. It's going to break out in a big way. It's going to drive. It'll pull back a little bit, and it'll continue driving.
Yeah. I would say that right now we are sort of like, 29, 30K on ETH, something like that. But we are definitely
Exactly. That's what I meant. But yeah.
Yeah, and then if we do expect BTC to continue higher on this next move, then what is going to happen is that ETH is going to follow as well. Just like it went up, when BTC went up higher, ETH went higher too. But I think what happens is that ETH catches up, and look at that price difference, right? From the current prices for BTC, that's 31%. For ETH, that's basically 80%. So that's your price difference, and that's why ETH BTC will go up. It's that simple.
And what does that mean for ETH BTC as far as a chart, Jackus? Would that mean the bottom is in for ETH BTC? Because I would argue,
so.
yeah.
I think so, and I think like it breaks higher and then starts reaccumulation before it goes higher. So I think this one will take long, but I think this move will be rather quick. Just like this move up.
Hey,
I would
Jack,
add to
what do
that
you think
too.
about? Go ahead, Will. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna add. It's not just accumulation, because I think a lot of people don't understand the difference between accumulation and distribution. But to me, it's vertical accumulation. And vertical accumulation is indicative of a bull market. But go ahead, Max.
What do you think about the path for Bitcoin dominance here, Jackus? Do you think that Bitcoin dominance is going to pull back and we'll see a little mini alt season, or did we already have the alt season, which was just the altcoins rallying recently?
So I always thought that from this area right here, we gonna make a bounce lower, and if I make it straight on this one, I always thought that we're gonna make a bounce and mini alt season, then we get like that run into halving. Maybe we retest this breaker and then we are heading lower. That's my expectation, and it also lines up nicely with time wise as well. So we'll see. Like I cannot rule out that I just don't think so that we go straight up here, like just straight up from the bottom, straight up without any of this. I think we still should get something like this. That's my case. But looking at the current price, we need to always put it in present. And I still think that ETH really needs to catch up here on BTC, and that's simply bullish for ETH BTC. And as I've been saying, I have it on another chart. I think that's how it goes. Actually, let me show it right here. I'm gonna now delete this.
That just looks like a bear trap. That kind of pattern, the C shape down that we're in right now, where it just bleeds. It looks like a bear trap. I mean, it's strong momentum, right? But that's interesting.
So this is the hard time frame chart for ETH BTC, and as you can clearly see, they are trying to sell you the narrative that ETH is downtrending, where that's not true, or it depends on the time frame you are on. So obviously, if you're gonna look at the price from here, then it's obvious it's downtrending, but you are forgetting the hard time frame picture. And I'm actually gonna start with this one, right? That's the Bitcoin fractal, and it's actually very obvious to me. Let me actually go on daily, maybe like 3-day, right? And what I think is that right here we were also uptrending, and then we got this range right here, and that's the range I think we are in right now. And people were also telling you, hey, we are downtrending, and we were, but within this leg higher. Just like here, we are downtrending within this leg higher. And all in all, we are uptrending since the inception of ETH BTC. We are uptrending since the bottom of last cycle. So there is a clear uptrend in ETH BTC. People are failing to see this and recognize this, just like they failed to do that. And I kept saying that. I did it live on here, as I always do. I kept saying, you guys are wrong. You had market structure break on this move up. You made a higher high, then higher low, then higher high, then higher low, then higher high, then higher low. And what you expect? Well, you expect you get another higher high, and we got that, right? But they were telling you, no, market structure is bearish, just like they are telling that right now on ETH-BTC. And like they are not wrong if you are looking at this, but you are failing to put the context together. You are failing to see the broader market structure. And that's that this was the impulsive move, like higher, right? This is the higher low, and this is still a higher low until we lose here, until we go lower. And I said many times, this is a big invalidation for me. Until this happens, you expect this one to hold. And I do think when I look at the USD chart. So
let me ask you a question, Jackus. So Ethereum has been lagging almost everything else. Bitcoin, other, large cap altcoins. Do you think that when ETH finally starts to move and ETH BTC breaks upwards, ETH is going to act as a bit of a liquidity vacuum and it will outperform all the other altcoins? Or do you think it's going to act as a tailwind and you're going to see altcoins, with smaller market caps? But I'm not talking like on-chain stuff. I'm talking like Solana, Matic, like the kind of that class, BNB, the mega cap altcoins. Do you think that Ethereum will pull those up with it and those will outperform ETH? Or do you think that ETH will basically steal the spotlight from every other alt?
Real quick, Max. Not to cut off or anything like that, but if you knew my positioning, Max, you would know how to. But I mean, you got to be in our Giga chat to know that. So, I think those are pretty vital scenarios to kind of understand how to position in these markets, and it's something we typically cover every morning, twice a day, between morning open and evening close. So I just want to kind of bring that up. Also, I don't feel like we highlight that enough. We talk about it here on the show, but we don't really highlight, like we cover our positioning to a T on how we feel about these markets for those in the audience who are wondering every day with our gauge heads. Not to mention how are our likes looking there, Max?
Yeah,
before we get to the juicy part.
Yeah, we're at 61 likes. That's not bad. You guys are doing pretty well today.
I mean, I'm spitting alpha here, guys. You guys can push it up to 80. Let's go, man. Let's go, guys. 80.
Evan was
80.
right, guys.
Greedy jackies.
Evan was right. We're pamping, guys.
Are we?
Getting a little pump on the coins, yeah.
I mean, we told you. Anyways, guys, I have about 10 more. Maybe I can extend it to 15 more minutes, but then I really gotta go. You won't see me until Monday, most likely. So this is the last time you hear me this week, so be sure to listen. So I think what happens is ETHUSD, as I said, is starting to catch up. It will break out as long as it's respecting those levels. And at that moment, we see this big move up in ETH-BTC. This will catch lots of people surprised. It will it will make lots of people look foolish, right? Then I think when they start to hop in, there will be some daily pullbacks in between, probably. But on the weekly, this will be sort of the move. And then when these people start to hop in, I think we get the reaccumulation, the big reaccumulation. Once again, it's sort of annoying. This is, by the way, how they keep moving the price up and still leave people on the wrong side. I will go on that with Bitcoin once again. But I think this happens, then you get the reaccumulation right after halving, and then you continue as you broken the downtrend on the logarithmic chart. And this proves to be a giant reaccumulation. And actually, I think this gold fractal happens too, right? Where we broken down and then we move higher.
Guys, we've got some breaking news.
What is it?
Binance CEO CZ in discussions to step down as criminal investigation ends.
Oh.
Step down.
Hold on.
Is that good or bad? I don't know.
I think that's good long term for Binance. And I by the way, we discussed this. We discussed this a few months ago, that they will look to do this, right? They will look to take down CZ as they will not take Binance down. They will look to diminish Binance market share and maybe take CZ down as CEO, but they will not like take down Binance. The BNB won't collapse, and everything is happening.
Yeah, keep in mind too the key words there: as criminal investigation closes, which means they're going to stop investigating them. And then, not to mention, it doesn't mean that he can't work there; he just can't operate, right? Like he can't run the business, but he can still run it from the side. You can put
Oh
a
yeah.
proxy in place and still run a business, if you get what
Yeah,
I
but
mean.
who's gonna pump our coins, man?
Yeah.
Like I said, you can put a proxy in place and still run the business.
Yeah. Going back to ETH-BTC. So yeah, I mean, we still are holding here. This is a must hold. As I've been saying many times, we cannot go any lower. Like we can like, for example, sweep here. We could even sweep this low if it's just a wick, okay? But I do not know what would cause that. But otherwise than that, as long as ETH is holding above here, above these levels, then above this weekly level, then I think continuation to follow soon after. We are getting that nice bounce, surprise, surprise. And yeah, guys, Matic.
What a
Matic.
wild day, man. What an absolutely wild day. It's like too much to even keep up with. There's just so much stuff going on.
I know.
They are dumping all these news on our heads. And
It's
market
just
is like, am I buying? Am I selling? What am I doing?
nobody has a clue what's going on. I'm just watching all these coins, man. Like nobody knows what's going on. No one knows whether it's bullish or bearish.
Yeah.
I think bullish for Bitcoin, bearish for altcoins. Personally,
I could see that.
Why is it bearish for altcoins?
because the main people who have been pumping the altcoins, the shitcoin casino, they're getting taken out of the market. Because I assume, right, like you guys were saying, the goal is to minimize Binance's role within the market, and Binance's role has largely been that of a shitcoin casino. I think it will ultimately, but then at the same time, you know, the biggest Bitcoin seller of the last few months is also leaving the market, right? Which has been CZ.
Yeah. Well, I think like Binance is gonna operate, like I think they're gonna regain their market share that they lost, and I don't think it stops, as Max was saying, CZ to operate from the shadows or so. So I still think like they're gonna pump shitcoins, right?
Well, the thing
Yeah.
is too, and this is what I keep saying it. Like him stepping down doesn't mean him leaving, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what I think. A lot of people are just like, they're fading that whole notion. CZ has a lot of money and a lot of influence. He can easily put somebody in place that he could still run it from the back end, and nobody will know. He
Wait,
said he'll put a burger head.
Yeah.
You work at McDonald's? Here, we'll give you $100K. You do what I say.
There's just so much stuff happening right now. This is unbelievable.
It's great, man. I love it. It's creating this exponential freaking volatility right now. People are gonna get wiped out on both sides.
I hope we just rip so hard out of here, man. Like just so hard. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems choppy, man. It seems like everybody's confused. Market doesn't know what it wants to do.
I would say the only thing that I feel pretty comfortable in assuming is that they're probably going to rip BNB into the conference or right after it.
What
B&B at this point for me is very questionable. But I do think it will probably go up.
The
But
press conference. Yeah.
with all this, it may be, short-term FUD.
Does
Yeah,
Binance and does crypto
like-
really need CZ? Like, I think we like CZ largely, but I don't really think it dramatically shifts the landscape of crypto or Binance for that much. I have no doubt he'd still be a consultant, at a minimum, and have a huge influence.
Well, I was just talking to my buddy. He was saying that CZ's wife is probably the one in line.
Oh, really?
She already works there. Like she's already like.
There you go, man.
She runs operations when he's not there.
Okay. So he's still the CEO.
Yeah.
Okay.
On paper, he's not the CEO. That's all.
Aren't we getting Nvidia earnings today?
No, I think it's Thursday, isn't it?
I think it's today.
Is it today?
But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong on this one.
Hang on.
I think.
Yeah, it's today. It's today. You're right.
Yeah,
After
this
hours.
I could still see this. Like I'm expecting higher, but I could see some drop from the earnings, shake people out, create that pullback. I also think like Wix is heading to really low levels, right? It's basically heading to this range low.
I do have some info on NVIDIA, but you can finish cooking out, and I'll drop it.
Yeah, I really have to leave soon, so I'll then leave the word to you and the chart. I like Wix is heading really low, and to the range lows, and SPX and Nasdaq have been pumping the entire time. So it would make sense to me that we actually see a break. I still think that we come back on SPX and take out this low. I still think we could, but I'm expecting like my main case is still that upside, right? These pullbacks can and don't have to come. I think. By the way, Max, this is the high we talked about.
Yeah.
That on this chart, it's there.
It doesn't show up on the E-mini futures. Or
Yeah.
It's totally shifted. Yeah.
The daily is also like very overbought. Like we went straight up from this move down. So I think some shakeout would be really nice from here. And with VIX big, I don't know what's gonna cause it, but they will use some news to create that pullback, in my opinion. Then there's a question, maybe like Nasdaq retest this support and SPX heads below it. That would be nice EM divergence there. We'll see. But I could see a pullback really sooner or later happening. I thought it's gonna happen sooner. Like we, for example, going to take these highs or so and then pull back from around this area. We went all the way up there. The same here. As you can see, I thought we're gonna have shallow breakout and then the pullback we went a little bit higher, but I still think the pullback is gonna come. Maybe I'm wrong on this one. I'm generally expecting more upside into the market. Yeah, Nvidia, all of these.
NVIDIA has some cards to play, Jackus, so you should stick around for like 5 minutes. I'll make it quick.
Okay, we will stick for that. That will be interesting to see live. Is it really 5 minutes, Bill?
Yeah, I'll be fast. I don't even need to try. I can tell you what it is.
All right.
You want me to go now?
Wait, you already know the earnings for Nvidia? Or
I know they're bad. Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
So I'm going to tell you the playbook, and they do this every year. So with NVIDIA, it's one of those companies you can expect, and this is just knowing the companies, right? This is something you can expect every single cycle. Earnings are bad. They're losing share to AMD. It's pretty obvious. The GPUs were way overpriced for what they were giving, and they weren't giving enough VRAM for in comparison to AMD. But we'll make that short and sweet. So AMD is taking market share from NVIDIA. What NVIDIA does every single time that happens is they come out with the super version, right? So it'll be like they did it with the 20 series, 30 series, and I think that they haven't come out with the super yet on Nvidia. So what they'll do is they'll probably fud it down. Earnings will be bad. Then they'll drop the, hey, we're coming out with the 40 series supers, blah blah blah, and you'll see this freaking thing rip in your face immediately. Because everybody loves the super series because everybody in the market who buys GPUs have the minds of goldfishes, and literally children who can't keep an attention span past 10 seconds as far as value. But people like that card specifically, so they should see sales increase at that point. And I think anybody investing in Nvidia will see that. They'll see the super series and they'll buy back in.
Good stuff. Maybe last thing from me, guys, that I wanted to mention. Lots of people keep asking me how that Bitcoin pullback is going to look like if we have a recession. And I thought about that even more widely and went through the charts and thought like how it's going to play out, right? And here's, for example, Amazon when we had that 2008 crisis, right? So it already started at late 2007 and went to early 2009 on like SPX. But here's what happened to Amazon. It went basically minus 65% on this big financial crisis, right? So as you can see, none of these assets are not impacted by it. But what happens is that we actually get, like, we respect the chart. We had this inefficient move higher. We had it's as simple as this fucking TA. Keep laughing at TA. I keep laughing at you. Uh, and then we had a retest of either you want to say this breaker or this one, whatever it is. But we felt the inefficient move, took some stops, continued higher. That's it. That's what happened during '08. Now let's look at what Apple had done, right? During '08. So during '08, it was already uptrending higher. And then what happened during '08? Oh, hey, it made its pullback. How much? Oh, 60%. That's correct. But what did we do? We came back and retested support. And that's what I keep on saying. So what's going to happen to BTC is that it depends. And I said that multiple times, guys. Okay. And before you're going to see it from different people all over Twitter, and everyone will be telling you so, I'm telling you here. And I've been telling you for a long time. We possibly, this is still my main case scenario. We go up here, distribute at 60K, take the time frame as sort of mean, because I don't know how long it's going to take. As I said, we need to know how and when we get there. But we go to like the 60K resistance, maybe all the way, Then what happens is we get that scary pullback during the recession. And how much is it from 60K? Well, it's 50%. That's pretty much very good for me, during recession for Bitcoin. And what happens? It respects its levels. So everyone that's expecting new lows, in my opinion, that's like new bear market, right? I don't think that's gonna happen because, as I said, we had this major higher time frame range recline. This is what's gonna happen. It's gonna come back, retest here. Unless, of course, we go there where we like make this pullback right now. In that case, I would not expect it. But also what can happen, and this is my scenario too, is that we, for example, going to keep pumping into it, right? And maybe we do something like, I don't know, something like this. We go all the way up here. This is where we are trading. I'm not saying this happens, but I'm prepared for that scenario. Are you? What happens is that recession comes here, and then we get the pullback, right? And then we continue.
Jackus, if we go to 100K before the recession, man, I'm gonna be so happy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I'm saying, guys, be prepared because this is what can realistically happen. You may not be ever getting those low prices, and you need to be prepared for that. This doesn't mean like FOMO here, no, but if it keeps happening like this, you need to be ready to make adjustments. And this is like it can realistically happen. We can go up here like this, and then the recession comes, and it's gonna affect Bitcoin. That's what I've been always saying. When a recession comes, and it's going to come, I don't know if it's the end of next year, maybe it's 2025. I cannot say that right now. Maybe it's earlier. Who knows? When it comes, it's gonna affect crypto markets. But where we are trading will matter a lot. Are we trading above all-time highs? The recession will be used to retest all-time highs and then continue higher. Are we are we distributing at 60K and then recession comes? Well, do not expect higher. It's going to affect crypto. We're going to retest the range lows, but it's going to respect the levels. It's going to respect the levels. Once again, it's going to respect the fucking TA levels. I don't care about your macro bullshit. It's going to respect those levels. And you need to keep that in mind. You really do. If each time we look back on price, it's respecting the levels. And back then there were issues that were going on, and people forget that. So I, once again, am bold enough to say that I do not think we, for longer period of time, trade back below 30K ever again. I think we can dip there. Okay, like what can happen is where we get like some sort of COVID sell-off. I do not think that happens, but it's certainly possible. Even fucking COVID respected levels, right? We broke out of the range, came back and retested because there were no prior moves into it. So, but even COVID respecting those levels. And I think that's what happens here. We can have a like quick dip, but respect the levels.
I like how you pointed that out, Jack, because I don't think a lot of people even recognize that. COVID respected the levels, guys. Like, think about that. Think about that from a higher level, right? It respected the levels. Like, if you say TA doesn't work, then why did it respect the levels? Why?
Coincidence, Will, just coincidence.
It's always okay. Let's go back to all the war incidents where they respect all the
So,
levels too.
When one thing in my studies of Jackus's theory of Bitcoin trading like a commodity, like a precious metal, versus like leveraged stocks, going back and looking at what's happened, to gold and silver when equities have entered a recession, the knee-jerk reaction is down, and it's down fast. Okay, equities will capitulate, gold and silver will nuke, but then equities continue to capitulate, and gold and silver basically V-recover. And we actually saw that same thing happen basically during COVID, where equities went on to capitulate, and gold and silver during that time, the knee-jerk reaction was down very quickly, but then we're very, very quick to recover. So, what Jackus is saying, as long as Bitcoin trades like a digital commodity, yeah, the knee-jerk reaction is going to be a capitulation. Like, it's going to be a total smackdown. But if it actually is, in fact, a digital commodity, which at this point it seems like it is, it might nuke from 70K down to 40K and then be back at 70K within 2 months. It could be very, very quick. The snapback could be very quick.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, that's it from me today. I really got around. I'm enjoying these shows a lot. I love all of you guys in the comments giving us likes. I hope we are at 80 already, because that was the greedy Jackie's demand. So I hope we are there. If not,
even better, 69.
Wait, we are at 69?
69 likes, yeah.
How does this keep happening?
I wanted 80, guys. I wanted 80. Now that's a disappointment. Lots of alpha has been shared. I will have to think next time if I share this much alpha. Okay, 69. What is it, guys? I said 80. Okay, I'm set. I'm gonna leave set, and I hope next week, guys, you're gonna make up for it, so that I can keep delivering to you. Okay.
Thanks, Jackus.
All right, guys.
Sounds like Jackus wants 140 next week.
Thanks.
Oh no!
Oh, let's go.
that greedy Jackus with his likes, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gotta make it up. 140 next week now. More push-ups.
Thanks, Jackus.
See ya, guys.
See ya.
I think the algo is messing with us, man.
What do you mean?
How many times are we gonna have 69 likes on the dot?
I know. I think it's the audience, man. I think it's our supporters, man. They think it's funny to run it up to 69 likes and then leave it. But we're at 71 now. They pushed us above it. But yeah, I'd say let's take us out here, guys. Been going about an hour and 20 minutes. Had some great discussions today. Evan Casey, an absolute menace in the comments today, man. You love to see that. We're going to get Evan on the show eventually, man. Evan's in the Discord. Evan dropped a nice selfie in the Discord.
He did.
Absolute boss, man. There is no second best to Evan Casey. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for being here. Please consider liking the video if you have not yet. Furthermore, if you are new here, maybe you came from Twitter or you found us on YouTube's The Explorer. This is Market Check, brought to you by Because Bitcoin. This is our daily live show. We are live 5 days a week, Monday through Friday at 10:50 a.m. Eastern time. With this full cast that you watched today, Jack is included, who just had to dip. Believe he's doing some travels. But guys, if you are new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. We greatly appreciate you guys showing up, sticking around until the very end and hanging out with us on this fine Tuesday, which has been an absolutely insane day of volatility given all of the news. So please consider liking the stream. It really helps push our content. Thank you guys so much. And furthermore, subscribe so you can be made aware of whenever we go live. You could check Twitter too. I guess you don't have to subscribe, but it's real easy. It's free to subscribe. Then it pings your phone when we go live. And it helps support the channel, helps support our growth. So please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not yet. One more shill for you guys. If you want to trade with me, Tucker, Snorlax, Will, and Jackus, you can check out the first link in the description of this video. It's becausebitcoin.com/premium. It will take you to our website where you can sign up for our private Discord. We are running right now through the holiday season a 1-month free trial. That's 30 days for free without having to pay anything. And if you don't like it, you can cancel. But I have a feeling if you are here and you are liking the show, you are most certainly going to like the Discord. All right. So when you go to check out, you can use this. Give me 1 second. You can use the code at the bottom of the screen. You'll go to checkout. You'll put in your information. Use code free month for 1 free month. Again, this is a limited time offer. We're just going to roll this through the holiday season. And then we might even close off the Discord depending on how many people join. It's getting a little bit crowded. Like I love the growth, but there's been a lot of people joining recently, which is great, but limited time offer for 1 free month. We're really trying to build out and find the community that's going to roll with us as a team through the bull market. It's not going to be open-ended forever. We are offering a free month right now. If you want to give that a try, you get to see all of our active positions. Where we really hammer it in the Discord is we focus on execution. We share a lot of charts here on YouTube and on Twitter. But how do you actually apply, how do you actually place bets? How are we actually placing our money to capitalize on the analysis that we're doing? And that's where trading, and technical analysis often are disconnected. Is everybody can learn technical analysis by putting in the time, but how do you truly master the emotions, the psychology, the placement of bets, how to lose, how to win? That's really the focus of the Discord. And we commit hours each day doing just that. We do probably 2 hours a day of live calls in our Discord, one before the New York session opens, and then one right before the New York session closes. So, there is not a Discord community out there working harder to navigate these markets than the Because Bitcoin team and community. So again, if you want to try that out, 30 days for free, first link in the description below, becausebitcoin.com/premium. And then when you go to checkout, use the code across the bottom of the screen, free month for 30 days for free. But with that said, I'm going to kick it over to Snorlax, and he's going to say a final farewell until tomorrow.
Thanks, Max. Yeah, I love seeing you guys have fun in the comment section in the Discord. We're having a blast in the Because Bitcoin community right now, so I cannot recommend everything that Max just said enough. Come hang out with us in the Discord. The free trial is, it's still available. Running out of time though to take advantage of that. But if it's something that might interest you, you can check it out at no cost to you. But yeah, guys, like Max said, we will be back tomorrow, of course, for another episode of Market Check. We will be in the wake of the press conference with the government, the avengers of the government, right? The IRS, the DOJ, and everybody seemingly in between. We'll see if there's any more fallout here with CZ and Binance, or if we can finally close this chapter for good here over the next few hours. Definitely something that I'm looking forward to being over with as far as market overhangs go. And yeah, we'll see how everything gets digested here over the next few days. But thank you guys so much for being here. We will be back for another episode tomorrow, and have a great rest of your Tuesday. Thanks again, guys.